In this video, we're gonna go through 4 hacks to blast through plateaus so you don't look the same. So that girl doesn't turn around and you can go, Tom, you're still small, bro. And none of this knowledge is just from me. I've learned this from other people that are way smarter, and I'm just gonna condense it down and make it our style. So plateaus in the gym are gonna happen. You're not always gonna get stronger week on week. The first technique I'm gonna give you, which is gonna really help, is at the end of an exercise, it's gonna be doing a rest pause set, all right? Say for example, 3 weeks in a row, you've got 8 reps of 16 kilos. What I want you to do is do the last set, take it the whole way to failure. And then what I want you to do is once you hit that true failure point, I want you to sit the dumbbells down, or you can sit them on your knees. I just want you to count to 10 seconds. And then I want you to bust out another couple of reps. And what you'll notice is you'll usually get between 2 and 5 reps. If you get more than 5 reps, I'd recommend taking another 10 seconds and going again, because it probably wasn't tough enough. Once you get less than 3, I would stop. It means you're lifting more weight in that session. Your body will adapt to that. And then what you'll notice over time is instead of doing 8 reps, having to take a break, and then doing 2, you'll be able to just bang out the full 10 to 11 reps. And that's your overload, and that's gonna bust you through the plateau. I would recommend doing this on the last set of an exercise, because if you do it in the first, you'll notice a lot of your sets are compromised. Really simple tip, helps massively. Second, what we have to bust through plateaus is gonna be something called force negatives. Now, you can do this in a range of movements. I'm gonna show you how to do it on a preacher curl with one arm, because it's tough to do if it's just by yourself. You always feel on the actual lifting portion of the reps, so the part where we're lifting up. You never feel in the lower. So what this means is that you've hit failure in the positive range, but not the negative. So what you can do is, say once you hit failure fully, you can lift and just control the negative. The exact way people teach you how to do pull-ups if you can't do them. And you can do 3, 5 reps these, and that just helps overload the muscle. And it also helps massively if you're not used to lift them. You can do this on preacher by yourself, doing every arm movement by yourself by supporting yourself, or you can get a spotter. But you can do force negatives or force positives. I want to highlight that, where they're taking off some of the load. So a really good example is whenever you're lifting, and just before you hit failure and do the force negatives, you're getting it really tough, you just self-spot. And that's it. You just help yourself through that wee sticking point where you start to fail, and this will help you get extra reps. You can do this in every movement. It's the exact same as somebody spotting you in the bench press, but the best part is if you do it yourself with single arm movements, you know where you come in, and then I would note it, what reps you got spotted on, what reps you done the force negatives on. And I wouldn't do both. Pick if you're doing the negatives or if you're doing the force positives. There's no need to overload that much. So it's like 2 for 1 here I give you. Next up, we have a rule that I've had with my coach for a long time, and I think he's a genius, Joe Jeffrey. It's the 3 strikes and out policy. So if you are in a surplus, that's rule number 1. You're training, you're managing your sleep, that's number 2. You're nailing your food, training volume, you're not adding extra sets, and you do movement, and for 3 weeks in a row, you get the same amount of sets, the same amount of reps. Like, you just cannot progress it no matter how much you push. Once you hit 3 weeks in a row of this, I just swap it out. 3 strikes and it's out. So instead of doing an incline press with dumbbells, I might just move to the machine. So it doesn't mean I'm changing the whole workout routine. It just means I'm changing that one movement. So that's the beautiful thing. If you find a program online and you're stuck on the incline, and this new program has it, and you're like, I have to do it. You don't have to do that. You can do an incline barbell, incline Smith, incline chest press, incline anything. I can't think of it. So 3 strikes and out, you swap it out, and that'll also keep you motivated and keep you moving through routines. I don't know what I'm saying now. On to the next one. Number 4 is not proposing. It's doing what's far more important. I'm taking a deload week. Decide to lie down because there's no bed here. Not that you should be on the bed, but you get the point. Deloading every so often is going to help you progress with strength, because if you're not recovering, you're doing too much volume week on week, you're not going to get stronger. And a deload can help you save your joints, get stronger week on week. And one thing I would say is, if you ever deload and you get sick during the deload week, that means you waited too long. Now, a lot of people won't need deloads all the time because they're maybe not doing enough volume. If you're getting stronger every week, you feel good, you can work away. But if you're at the thought process where you just don't want to take a week off, even though you're not getting stronger, I would highly recommend you either take a deload week, which is a week off train, or you do what I do, and it's called a deload tapering week, where you take the weight you do, you drop it down to 70% volume. So if you bench 225 pounds or 100 kilograms, you go down to 70 kilograms. You're working at 70% capacity and do half your volume. You won't lose any muscle. If anything, you'll usually get stronger because you come back fresher. And if you take a deload week and not the first week back, the second week back, you're not stronger, it's not recovery's the issue, and you can stroke that out. And then that allows you to move forward into the other stuff and train even harder. Good damn. So I don't always give out this tip because I am hesitant people will butcher it and then blame me for it. But if you do this right, you'll grow really well. Increasing volume throughout weak points, throughout blocks. So say, for example, you struggle to build your shoulders and you take a deload. You start at 2 sets on shoulder press or 2 sets on lateral raise week 1. Is that every 2 to 3 weeks, as long as you're getting stronger, you can add an extra set to that muscle group. You don't add it to every muscle group, you just pick like a weak point. So for me, it would be biceps, triceps, delts, chest, legs, back, calves. penis. Whenever you do this, just pick 1-2 muscle groups just to try it out. I really recommend one. I think delts is the best one to try it out with initially. And just add a set, like a lateral raise, and build up to say 5 set lateral raises over 15 weeks. So you might add a set every 3 weeks. This means you're not only progressively overloading with more weight, but also more sets. So it makes a lot more volume there. Now you need to be very careful. If you do add an extra set and you don't get stronger, don't just continue to add sets. And a real red flag is if you add sets and you get weaker, that shows it's way too much you're not recovering. So this is where refinement of programming comes into play. And this is why I'm such a geek for this. I've trialed everything, low, high volume, periodizing volume. For me personally, a lot of people argue, I find periodizing volume like that works really effective as long as you keep other muscle groups at a lower threshold. Everything's growing slowly, but that's the main focus of the block. And I find that also allows me to be full focused on it. Instead of trying to grow everything at once, it works really well to give you a recovery volume in there. That's pretty much it. There are the 5 tips that can help you blast through a plateau. 3 and 1 as an extra. That's how good I am to you. Be good back. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hug your mum. We'll see you in the next one. Big love.